Welcome back, Eagles fans. Today we're diving deep into everything that's been happening around the team, from the highs to the debates that keep us talking long after the game's end. First up, let's get into the chatter around the defensive line because there's a story that's caught everyone's attention. Jordan Davis and the Pro Bowl snub. Now, if you've been watching the Eagles this season, you know Jordan has been a monster on the field. He's been moving the line, commanding attention, and making plays that shift the momentum of games. Yet somehow, he didn't get the nod. Instead, Jalen Carter was named, which has sparked a ton of discussion among fans, analysts, and anyone who pays close attention to the trenches. It's hard to wrap your head around because, statistically and impact-wise, Davis has been dominant. He's shown consistency, power, and the kind of skill that changes the outcome of games. The fact that he wasn't selected makes you think about how the Pro Bowl process works. Often, it's more about name recognition and media presence than pure performance. And that's a tough pill to swallow when you're a fan watching the real work being done on the field. Jordan Davis himself responded in a way that shows his maturity and dedication to the craft. He didn't throw fits. He didn't complain publicly. He didn't point fingers. Instead, he reflected on the situation, recognized that chasing personal accolades is a natural desire for athletes, but ultimately reminded himself that what truly matters is contributing to the team and pushing himself to get better every single day. He talks about putting in extra hours, the long nights in the facility, the additional reps, and how all of that work compounds over time to make him stronger, sharper, and more effective on game day. He understands that championships and team success are the ultimate measure of greatness, not just the recognition you get from a fan vote. It's an approach that's inspiring for anyone who loves the game, whether you're on the field or watching from the stands. Shifting gears, we also have to highlight Jalen Hurts, because he's been at the center of yet another exciting chapter for this Eagles squad. The team clinched the NFC East, which is no small feat, especially when you consider the level of competition and the stakes involved. Hurts' attitude in the locker room after securing the division title was all about focus and forward momentum. He celebrated, of course, because these moments are special, but he immediately pivoted to the bigger picture, building on the success, stacking wins, and keeping the team hungry for the ultimate prize. That mindset is exactly what separates good teams from championship contenders. He's not just thinking about trophies or stats. He's thinking about maintaining a culture of excellence, about keeping the bar high and pushing his teammates to continue improving week after week. The dynamics of the team right now are fascinating. You have young stars like Davis making waves on defense, Hurts leading the charge on offense, and a supporting cast that has been showing up when it matters most. Players who may not grab headlines every week are contributing in big ways, making crucial plays that swing games, and giving the Eagles depth and resilience that any top-tier team needs to succeed in a grueling season. Even with injuries impacting the lineup at times, seeing players like Jalen Carter back in practice is a huge boost. It adds energy and gives the coaching staff options as they prepare for the next matchups. Landon Dickerson and Nico Dean have been key figures in the mix as well, and although Lane Johnson is still sidelined, the depth the Eagles have cultivated this season has allowed them to absorb these challenges without losing momentum. The narrative around the Pro Bowl and All-Pro selections also brings up an interesting debate about recognition versus performance. Many fans feel that Davis should have been a lock for the Pro Bowl given his dominance, and the discussion isn't just about personal pride. It's about understanding how merit is evaluated in the league. Sometimes, players who quietly do the work and impact games in subtle but powerful ways get overlooked, while those with more name recognition or media visibility receive the nods. It's a reminder that football is as much about the collective effort and less about individual glory, even if the accolades feel deserved. For Davis, this is motivation. It's fuel for the fire, a reason to keep stacking reps, building his body, refining his technique, and preparing to dominate not just this season, but the next. Looking at the bigger picture, this Eagles team is firing on all cylinders. Offense and defense are starting to find rhythm at the same time, and that balance is what makes them dangerous. The division win is validation that their methods are working, but as Hurts emphasized, the real work isn't done. The goal is to use these wins as building blocks, to develop consistency, and to ensure that when the postseason arrives, they're peaking at the right time. There's a level of focus that comes from seeing past short-term accomplishments and thinking strategically about sustaining success. And it's clear that this group understands that principle. Every practice, every rep, and every game is an opportunity to refine and improve. Players are learning from one another, adapting to new challenges, and building the kind of cohesion that can carry a team deep into the playoffs. Even moments like celebrating division titles are approached with a mindset of growth. They're checkpoints rather than endpoints. And as fans, it's exciting to see this combination of talent, work ethic, and strategic thinking. You can feel the energy and anticipation building because this isn't just a team performing well in isolation. This is a squad that's aligning its goals, ambitions, and efforts toward a singular vision, competing for championships, pushing each other to be better, and creating a legacy that will be remembered for years to come. Injuries and player rotations continue to play a role in shaping the strategy for upcoming games. Knowing who's available, who's practicing, and how much load each player can handle is critical. The coaching staff has to balance keeping players healthy while ensuring that the team maintains its competitive edge. Every decision in practice and during games now is aimed at optimizing performance for the stretch run. Having Carter back in practice is a statement. His presence alone boosts morale and adds depth that's invaluable. Similarly, observing how the offense adjusts to defenses and continues to improve shows that the team is learning, evolving, and becoming more adaptable with every matchup. When it comes to individual growth, both Davis and Hurts exemplify how talent combined with relentless effort can define a season. Davis's approach to his Pro Bowl snub demonstrates that mindset often outweighs recognition. He's not fixated on votes or awards. He's invested in development and results. Hurts, meanwhile, models leadership, focusing not only on his own performance, but also on elevating those around him. Together, these approaches create a culture where success isn't just a product of individual talent, but a reflection of collaboration, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to improvement. Watching this team now, it's clear that momentum is not just about winning games. It's about instilling confidence, building consistency, and setting standards for the future. The NFC East title is just one piece of the puzzle. The real story is how the Eagles are managing expectations, handling setbacks, and continuing to compete at a high level, all while preparing for what lies ahead. The combination of young stars, experienced leaders, and strategic coaching creates an environment where excellence is the standard and championship contention is the ultimate goal. Every practice, every locker room conversation, every adjustment on the field contributes to the larger vision, and that's what makes following this team so compelling. As we keep tracking the Eagles, it's exciting to think about how the pieces are coming together. Defense is locking down opponents. The offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback is orchestrating plays with poise and leadership. The chemistry is evident, and the momentum they've built can carry through the playoffs if maintained. It's a combination of skill, preparation, and mindset, all aligning to create the perfect storm for success. Watching players like Jordan Davis respond to adversity with focus, and seeing Jalen Hurts balance celebration with ambition, gives fans a glimpse into the professionalism, dedication, and competitive fire that makes this team a contender year after year. As we move deeper into the season, the attention naturally shifts toward how the Eagles are preparing for the challenges ahead, especially as the playoffs draw closer. There's no denying that maintaining focus and intensity at this point in the year is crucial, and the way the team approaches practice, recovery, and preparation can define their postseason trajectory. With key players like Jalen Carter returning to practice, it's clear that the coaching staff is strategically integrating them back into the lineup without rushing anything. Every rep counts, and the emphasis on proper timing, positioning, and chemistry ensures that when game day comes, the team is not just ready, but firing on all cylinders. Players are taking ownership of their roles, pushing each other in practice, and making sure that mental preparation matches the physical grind. This kind of commitment is what separates contenders from teams that falter under pressure. Defensively, the Eagles have been building a reputation as a unit that can disrupt offenses and control the tempo of games. Jordan Davis, Marlon Tuipulotu, and Jalen Phillips have been at the forefront of this effort, consistently challenging quarterbacks, clogging running lanes, and making plays that swing momentum. The conversations about Pro Bowl selections, while interesting, pale in comparison to the tangible impact these players have every Sunday. It's one thing to get recognition, but it's another to show up week after week and dominate, and that's exactly what the Eagles' defensive line has been doing. They've created a culture of accountability and intensity, and that culture is infectious, lifting up other units on the field and setting a tone that opponents have to contend with from the first snap. On the offensive side, the growth has been just as impressive. Jalen Hurts continues to balance poise and aggression, executing complex schemes while maintaining leadership over a diverse group of teammates. The offensive line, even with the occasional injury challenge, has held up admirably, giving Hurts time to make plays and opening lanes for the running game. Receivers are developing chemistry, timing routes with precision, and making adjustments on the fly to counter defensive strategies. There's a level of synchronicity forming that feels organic, born out of repetition, trust, and an understanding that individual accolades are secondary to team success. This philosophy has allowed the Eagles to adapt in-game, exploit weaknesses, and maintain consistency even against formidable opponents. Looking at the mental side of the game, the team's focus on maintaining perspective is crucial. Celebrating victories like the NFC East title is important, but keeping eyes on the bigger prize, the championship, is what differentiates great teams from merely good ones. Players like Hurts embody this mindset, knowing when to celebrate and when to pivot back to preparation. That balance between enjoying accomplishments and staying hungry creates an environment where motivation is internal and self-sustaining. It's a subtle but powerful distinction that often shows in late-game situations, high-pressure moments, and playoff scenarios where composure is just as valuable as talent. The leadership on this team, both from the coaching staff and the veteran players, has been instrumental in shaping this culture. Encouraging accountability, fostering communication, and promoting selflessness are all elements that have become part of the Eagles' identity. Younger players are learning the ropes from seasoned veterans, absorbing lessons on technique, preparation, and game awareness. Meanwhile, the coaching staff is meticulous in breaking down film, identifying tendencies, and adjusting strategies week to week. This meticulous attention to detail, combined with the players' willingness to embrace it, is what allows the Eagles to remain competitive even in the toughest matchups. When it comes to injuries, management and recovery are key. Lane Johnson's absence has been felt, but the depth the Eagles have cultivated has mitigated the impact. Similarly, monitoring players like Nico Dean ensures that they return to the field at full strength, minimizing the risk of setbacks while maximizing the team's effectiveness. The balance between pushing players to their limits and ensuring long-term health is delicate, but it's being handled thoughtfully. This kind of management is essential as the team gears up for high-stakes games where every edge matters. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL rumor mill was set on fire by whispers that sound almost too outrageous to be true. Around league circles, there's growing chatter that the Eagles have just pulled off what many are calling the boldest move in modern football, the acquisition of CeeDee Lamb. Sources close to the situation insist that the deal was done quietly, with discretion worthy of a blockbuster, leaving fans and analysts scrambling to understand how such a seismic shift could even be possible. CeeDee Lamb is not spoken of as a normal wide receiver. In conversations among scouts and former players, his name often comes with a pause, followed by words like unstoppable and mythical. His ability to glide past defenders, turn contested catches into routine highlights, and dictate defensive schemes has elevated him into a category few ever reach. To many, he represents the very definition of a franchise-altering talent, the kind of receiver that changes how the game is played on Sundays. If the speculation holds any truth, the Eagles' offense would instantly transform into something bordering on unfair. Imagine defenses forced to pick their poison, knowing that Lamb can beat double coverage with precision routes or explosive runs after the catch. Coaches around the league would be forced back to the drawing board, searching for answers that may not exist. Even the suggestion of Lamb and Midnight Green has already sparked debates about balance of power, legacies, and whether this could redefine an era. Of course, official confirmation remains elusive, and front offices are masters of silence when shockwaves are still settling. Yet the persistence of the rumor, repeated by insiders and echoed across locker rooms, refuses to fade. Fans are daring to dream, skeptics are raising eyebrows, and rivals are quietly hoping it's nothing more than fantasy. But in a league built on surprises, where impossible deals sometimes become reality, the idea of CeeDee Lamb joining the Eagles refuses to disappear. Until the smoke clears, this rumor stands as one of the most tantalizing what-ifs the NFL has seen in years, hinting at a move that could shake the sport to its core. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.